Hello everyone and welcome back to our channel. My name is Malescu and I am the owner of Malescu Law, a law firm based in Miami, Florida, specializing in US immigration and business corporate law in Florida. So if you plan to immigrate to the United States, we can assist you with all of your immigration needs regardless of where you plan to go in the United States. Today we are going to speak about change of status and applying for the E2 visa within the United States. First, we will discuss what is E2 visa, and then we will discuss who can apply for a change of status. Can you apply for a change of status? Who cannot apply for a change of status? And what type of documents are required in order to change status to E2 visa in the United States through the United States Citizenship and Immigration Services. So first of all, the E2 visa, for those of you who don't already know this, is a non-immigrant visa for the United States that allows foreign nationals from E2 treaty countries to come and live and work in the United States in exchange for making an investment in a US business. So in order to obtain an E2 visa, you generally can do the investment by starting a new company in the United States, or buying a business in the United States, or buying percentages in an existing business in the United States, or doing a franchise. So whichever route you are going to go, as long as you make an investment in the United States and you are a citizen of one of the E2 treaty countries, then you can apply for an E2 visa. Now, typically, the investment for the E2 visa is around $100,000 or more, but no less than $50,000. So you should plan to invest at least $50,000 in order to be able to apply for an E2 visa. And of course, with the E2 visa, it really just depends on what type of business you are gonna invest in. That is really what is gonna determine whether your investment, whether it is $50,000, $70,000, $100,000, $200,000, is really substantial for the business and for you to obtain an E2 visa. Second, can you apply for an E2 visa while in the United States? Well, yes. Treaty investors and also employees of E2 businesses can apply for an E2 visa while being physically present in the United States through a process called change of status, and this change of status application is sent and processed by the United States Citizenship and Immigration Services. However, in order to be able to apply for the E2 status in the United States and change your status, you need to be in the United States in lawful status. So you cannot be out of status, you cannot be unlawfully present in the United States and be able to change to an E2 status while being in the United States. And we are going to speak later about who can actually change status to E2 in the United States. Now, this video focuses on the issue of applying for an E2 while in the United States through change of status at USCIS. But there's always the other option that I'm going to mention, but we are not going to focus on, which is you can always apply for an E2 visa at the US consulates and embassies abroad. So just keep in mind you have that option always available to you, even if you are physically present in the United States. But for the purpose of this video, we are going to focus only on changing status in the United States to E2 through the United States Citizenship and Immigration Services. Third, Who can do an E2 change of status while in the United States? First of all, in order to do a change of status to E2 while in the United States, you need to be a citizen of the E2 treaty countries. Currently, there are over 80 countries that have an E2 treaty with the United States, and we will provide a link below this video where you can check if your country has an E2 treaty with the United States. The latest country to be added to the E2 treaty country list is Portugal, and now applications for E2 visas are open for Portuguese citizens. However, even if you are from one of these E2 treaty countries, you may still not be able to apply for a change of status with USCIS in the United States, but you will be able to apply for an E2 visa at the consulate abroad. So not every citizen of an E2 treaty country can actually do a change of status in the United States to E2, and we are going to see why is this happening. In other words, the individuals who can apply for a change of status in the United States to E2 visa through USCIS are 1. Canadian citizens traveling visa-free for business, touristic, student, or other purposes. And 2. Individuals who are citizens of E2 treaty country and who have entered the United States on a valid, unexpired visa stamp, such as a B1, B2, F1, J1, and other visas. These individuals, and only these individuals, can do a change of status to E2 through USCIS while being in the United States. Now, there is a 90-day rule when applying for change of status that is no longer the policy of USCIS, but it's still a reasonable guidance when it comes to changing status. However, depending on your class of admission, you may be able to do a change of status to E2 while in the United States without having to wait 90 days before you can file your change of status application. If you want to find out if you are in the class of admission that can do a change of status sooner than the 90 days, then you should contact an immigration attorney and speak to them about your application to change status to E2 in the United States. And fourth, we are going to discuss who cannot change status to E2 in the United States. So the individuals who cannot change status to E2 in the United States are 1. Individuals from E2 treaty country traveling on ESTA, so on the visa waiver program. Those of you who are entering on ESTA, you are not able to change status to the United States. 2. Dual citizens in the United States who have entered the United States on a passport that is not from an E2 treaty country. So they are present in the United States, they have an E2 treaty with the United States through one of their citizenships, but they have entered the United States with the passport from the country that does not have an E2 treaty with the United States. 3. Crew members on D visas. 4. In transit through the United States on C visas. 5. fiance of a US citizen on a K-1 visa or dependent of a fiance of a US citizen on a K visa. 6. Informant on terrorism or organized crime in the United States on an S visa. 7. J1 visitors subject to a 2-year foreign residence requirement if they don't have an approved J1 visa waiver. And 8. J1 visa holder receiving graduate medical training if they have not received an approved special J1 visa waiver. And finally, how do you apply for a change of status to E2 while in the United States? To apply for a change of status to E2 while in the United States, you need to file Form I-129 with Supplement E and all your supporting documents to the United States Citizenship and Immigration Services while you are still in lawful status, and they must receive it while you are in lawful status, as long as your status in the United States allows you to file this change of status application. Once you have submitted your application, you should not leave the United States. The entire change of status process occurs at USCIS. Also, you do not need to attend an E2 interview. If USCIS approves your change of status application, then it will issue you I-797 approval notice with an updated I-94 record that will show your class of admission as E2. Now, what is the processing time at USCIS to change status to E2? You have two options. You can go with an expedited process, in which case you pay an additional fee to USCIS, which currently is $2,805, and you can have a response within 15 calendar days. So USCIS can reach a decision on your change of status application within 15 calendar days if you select to file with premium processing. If, however, you decide to file regularly with regular processing, then you can expect to have a decision from USCIS within 1 to 3 months. The processing times constantly change regarding this change of status E2 applications filed with USCIS through regular processing, and that is why you would have a range in terms of processing time. This is all for today. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to our channel, and if you need to get in touch with us, you have our contact information in this video and below this video. We will see you soon. Bye.